Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 22 of the podcast known as The Life I'm Lovin'. I am your host, Vincent. Here with me today, and of course every day, is the hostess with the mostest, DJ Scarlett. You have such a way with words, Scarlett. You are killing it today. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, to rate, subscribe, vote, follow, RSVP. Sounds catchier if I say follow than follow. Rate, subscribe, vote, follow, boring. RSVF, boring. Rate, subscribe, vote, follow, pizzazz. RSVP, pizzazz. And now that I've subliminally put that into your mind, of course you guys have to do it now. It's just second nature to you at this time. How was our week, Scarlett? Solid, wholesome, productive weekend and week. Jen and I visited Grandma. She is tough as nails. As I said a few episodes back, she did have surgery. She got through that surgery. She is on the road to recovery. She can tell so many stories. It is honestly absurd. She's 91 and she tells stories about when she was probably single-digit age, living in Placentia back when there were only X amount of houses in the whole city, and how she knew Mr. Placentia. All of these things, and they're so crazy, and the stories that she remembers about me being a child and her being young and 20 and 30, 60, 70 years ago. I pray that if I do get to my 90s, which is 60 years from now, that I have the fire that she has, the character, the wisdom, the ability to recall from eons ago. It's like, I'm 29, she's lived 3 of my lifetimes up until today, and she can remember 2 lifetimes ago. And I know that doesn't make sense, but to me it makes sense, because I'm 29, 29 times 2 is 58, 29 times 3 is 87. Right? That sounds about right. So we're talking about, like, she's 4 years older than if I lived up to this age 2 more times. And it's insane. I love her so much, and I love spending time with her, and I know Jen loves spending time with her because she tells all these embarrassing stories about me and how much of a nerd I was and how needy I was as a kid, because obviously those are just stories from years past, and I'm totally not like that now. On top of that, we got some yard work done. We got some housework done. We visited a couple of friends who recently had a baby. Shout out to you guys. You guys made an adorable kid. You guys are great parents. I can't wait to see what you guys do as parents with your little bundle of joy growing up as the years move on. This week specifically was going really great until Thursday's shift. Everything was going so fast, everything was going so well. When I work, I have this mental agenda in my mind where if I have so much time left, I can take a look at my pipeline, take a look at all my files, and I can be like, okay, I can get this, and this done before I leave, and then tomorrow I can get the rest done, and I'll be good to go. That's my mental plan. If I stick to it and I accomplish it, I'm going to clock out of work a happy Vicente. Thursday was not one of those days. And honestly, these days do not happen often, but when they do, they really test me. Because I had X amount of time left. And I saw the clock and I was like, okay, I can get this, and this done. Probably about 6 or 7 things. And I started with the hardest thing, because I was in that mood. I was in that rip the Band-Aid off, get the hardest thing done first, so that it's all downhill from there. Well, that hardest thing, knowing that it was hard, took way longer than I expected. Way longer than I expected. Way longer than I expected. I'm gonna say it 3 times because that's how long it took. After that, I was like, okay, maybe I can get this done and this done. So my 6 things went to possibly 3. Like, okay, then tomorrow I'll just, have to work a little faster. So I go on to my second task, and that takes longer than I expected. And it took longer than I expected, and guess what? It took longer than I expected. And there is nothing that grinds my gears more than my mental agenda being thrown out the window. And granted, that work I feel like needed to be done, but it really just threw me off course. Now I'm teaching myself to, okay, clock out, make the most of the next 14 hours that you are not working for the day, so that you can clock in tomorrow and get as much done as you can and you are well rested. I know Scarlett. Scarlett doesn't like when I get heated. She was with me a good amount of the time that those things were taking so long because she knows, she can hear it in my voice, she can feel my presence like a volcano about to erupt. And it would have erupted if you and your mother were not yourselves. Thank you both very much for being you. I appreciate you and your mother greatly. But ladies and gentlemen, like that moment really got to me. And we're moving on because today's Friday and it's the last day of the week, and we are all very excited about that because I'm sure I'm not the only one who fell behind on their work this week. I'm sure it happens to everybody. So to you guys who may have not gotten as much done as you'd like to this week, you guys got as much done as you could. I respect that, I appreciate that, and there's always tomorrow. That's one thing that I have kind of ingrained in my head when it comes to my work. It's like, okay, if you don't get this done today, there is always tomorrow. One of the things, besides Jenna and Scarlett, that really got me out of that negative space also, the weather's been nice. It's been a little hotter than maybe I'd like, but where we live, there are certain times of the day where it's sunny, but then there's this nice cool breeze that comes through. And I was very lucky that right when I clocked out of work, after that very frustrating shift, I went outside and I started writing my notes down with Scarlett, and it was sunny and there was a light breeze and the birds were chirping and you could hear the wind in the trees. It was making that little rustle noise. Yes, Scarlett loves to smell the smells that the wind carries, the different scents that it carries. And honestly, she just looks so majestic because it looks like she's looking up so valiantly, and you see the little tip of her nose just kind of twitching, and she's looking around, her eyes are kind of squinty, and she's like, you're just enjoying your time. I really appreciate it. And you being you also helps me get out of that negative funk, so appreciate you ×2. Before we move on to the next segment, I also want to give a shout out to my aunt, my mom's sister. I've always called her Nina because she baptized me when I was a wee lad. Nina, you recently had surgery, and I know that this is something that you've been waiting on for longer than you'd like. And I just want to say I'm so happy that the surgery went well. I'm so excited to see all the adventures that you and Nino get into after this once you're all recovered and ready to go. I love you guys so much, and thank you for everything that you guys have done for myself, my brother, my mom, Jen, Scarlett. You give Scarlett all the love in the world, even though you don't see her too often. Now we move on to the weekly optimism. And this quote is actually by another Vincent. This guy's last name is Van Gogh. Vincent Van Gogh. Famous artist. I think he's the one who cut his ear off. I don't know why, but I think he's that guy. So if you guys know a famous artist who cut off his ear, these are his words. And of course, yes, Scarlett. And of course, those of you who have been paying attention to this new segment, the Weekly Optimism, this does set the scene for what the episode is going to be about. So, take a listen, see if you can guess, but I think I make them pretty obvious, so let's get right into it, shall we? Okay, I'm ready. The heart of man is very much like the sea. It has its storms, it has its tides, and in its depths, it has its pearls too. That was by Vincent Van Gogh, artist who may or may not have cut off his ear. One more time. The heart of man is very much like the sea. It has its storms, it has its tides, and in its depths, it has its pearls too. And that's by Vincent Van Gogh, famous artist who may or may not have cut off his own ear. Thinking of this quote, looking at man, I do think men are very emotional. The hard part is, I think it's easier to show some emotions over others. I think when you think of a stereotypical man, you think of bravado, showing off, getting frustrated when things don't go their way, in front of the TV when the team loses and you get super pissed. Been there. When you're playing a video game and your teammates are really unpleasant and not doing too well, or the team that you're going against is doing really well, unpleasant, gets you frustrated. And so when I think of the storms, I think of anger. I think of rage. I think of those times where things just aren't going your way and you just can't help but be frustrated. And the more things that don't go your way, the more you're frustrated. Sometimes we can be too much, too aggressive, too strong. We don't know our own strength sometimes. We bottle up so much frustration and it all comes out at once, and maybe it's just too much to come out at once. But beneath it all, beneath all that bravado, all that anger, all that machismo, down to the core, there's positive intentions. There's the, I don't want to burden you with my problems. There's the, I'm mad because things aren't going my way, because I want things to go my way so that I can care for my family and for my friends. I think beneath all of it, there's positive intentions in man. It might take some time to brave and weather those tides and storms, but those pearls are there. And whether it be on the outside looking in, where you see a man and you see those emotions, but then you have those tidbits, those positive traits, those things that make you laugh, those things that make you smile, those things that show that he can be a good anchor, that he can be a good family man, that he can be a good friend, those are the pearls, and they're there. It might take some time, but the sea gets calm eventually, and the storms stop, the tides change, and those pearls will be there. Now thinking about it on the inside looking out, being a man. What I like about this quote is that it uses water. Personally, I think water is one of the coolest things that the planet has been able to give us. And it's because water is so ambiguous. You can use it in so many different ways. And I love that this quote uses water because I've always considered myself a Swiss Army knife of sorts. I've always wanted to be what people need me for. You know, if you need a strong man, I can be a strong man. If you need a funny man, I can be a funny man. If you need an emotional man, I can be an emotional man. You know, whatever you guys need, that's what I want to be. And I feel like water is capable of doing so many things for so many different people. And maybe that's just me thinking as a Gemini, who is an air sign, who wants to be everything, who has that dual personality and can switch it up at a moment's notice. That's a personal thought. Now, looking at this quote, the bulk of it is about the storms, is about the tides. At the end is where it gets to the pearls. I feel that I'm the opposite. So it's like the heart of man is a pearl. It has its calm seas, it's got its crystal clear waters, but it also has its storms and its tides. Personally, I feel like I like to show the positive traits of me first, and then if you get to know me well enough, that's when you start seeing the storms and the tides. And that's simply because I try my best not to be negative. Sometimes I can't help it. Most times I can't help it because it's my emotion taking over at some point, and I just can't help it. I just need to be negative. Like when I got off work, I went straight outside. I was like, I'm frustrated. I was talking loudly. I just went outside and I sat down and was like, okay, go back to that place. Go back to that calm place. Listen to the wind. Look at Scarlett. Look at the sun. Get back to that. Because I couldn't help it. It was a storm. It was a storm. I guess learning to weather that storm, learning to navigate that storm is something that I pride myself on doing, and understanding that, okay, I'm in this mood. How do I navigate out of this as soon as possible? At the same time, you're also the entire ocean. Not only can you navigate those storms, you control the storms. You can choose when the storms subside. And it takes time, it takes practice, it takes understanding why the storm came in the first place in order for you to find out a way to make it leave. But it's possible. It takes work, it takes practice, but it's doable. And that's what I love about Van Gogh comparing man to the sea, is because the sea has the control. We have the control. It's just all about the effort we put into it. You know, do we want to be a sea that no one wants to navigate down because it's too cloudy, it's too stormy, the tides are too crazy, it's too rough out there? Or do we want to be like a calm sea where all the yachts go to party and the dolphins are bouncing around doing backflips and stuff and everyone's in a good mood? I'll take the latter any day of the week. We now get to the meat and potatoes of the podcast. Now, you guys heard me talking about man a lot during the weekly optimism, and And that's because June is actually Men's Health and Mental Health Awareness Month. I think that's really cool. It also lines up with Father's Day, and I think that might have been on purpose. But one thing I did look into is when it began. June became Men's Health/Mental Health Awareness Month actually in 1992. So that was 3 years before I was born. And I think about that because usually people have kids, mid-20s. That's usually the standard. Maybe it's going a little up as years go on. So maybe late 20s is when people start having their kids. So that's usually about a generation, 20 to 30 years or so. So when I think of men's mental health specifically, I think about the fact that I feel like our generation is really spearheading the acceptance of mental health, and I really love that for this generation and the generations onward. But that also means that my dad's generation, our father's generations, didn't get the acceptance of mental health in the public line of sight. I've lived my entire life with men's health, mental health being acknowledged. And, our work mentioning mental health and our schools mentioning mental health. But if it just became a national holiday 30 years ago, then think about 31 years ago, 32 years ago. And by the time it became a national holiday, my parents were already in their mid-20s. So it doesn't give them a lot of wiggle room to really change course because they're already kind of solidified in who they are and how they handle life. Because I feel like middle school, high school, college are those years that you're still figuring out how you want to handle emotional problems and your internal thoughts. And if you've already gone through that and you've already kind of figured out your way, it's kind of hard to get out of that and find a new way, especially when it involves vulnerability. So I'm very grateful because I feel like I've been around the messages that have allowed me to feel that expressing myself is okay. Telling people that I love them is okay. Asking for help when I need it is okay. And so I just want to talk about the things that I do to strengthen my mental health and keep me clocking out of work on a very unpleasant note, but able to get out of it sooner rather than later, not stewing in that negativity and not being freaked out about tomorrow's problems when the next 14 hours of my life can be spent enjoying the people around me and doing things that I love and having loving and positive thoughts. When things are not going my way, these are the things that help me get out of that zone, back into that positive mentality that people love me for, people appreciate me for. They don't like the me that's angry. They've experienced that me. That's not the me that they want to see. That's not the me that they want in their lives. Now, is it a me that they have to accept? Of course. But they don't want to see me like that. They don't want to see you like that, in that negative world. Because they know you. They know me. They know you're capable of so much greatness. They know that that problem is beneath you. You can overcome it. And they know that. And you know that. And it just takes, these key little things to maybe change your focus. Revert back to who you are as a whole than who you are in that moment when things just aren't going your way. The first thing that I had written down here and how to strengthen my mental health and how to keep it on a positive level first of all, is talking it out. I talk a lot. When I was in that frustrating mood, when I was working, I was talking. I was like, okay, I can try and get this done. I can try and get this done. I can try and get this done. You know, I understand that this isn't going my way, but I'm going to try. You know, when things are maybe a little fuzzy in your head, talk it out. Talk to yourself in a mirror. Talk to your loved ones, friends, family, significant other. I talk to Scarlett all the time, but she's not listening to me right now because she's playing with her toy. Yeah, she's busy. She's not talking to me right now. Get it out of your system. Don't let it fester in there. If you have thoughts, if you have frustrations and they're just sitting in your head, it's gonna make things so much worse than if you just get them out of your system. And if you don't feel comfortable saying it to someone, again, talk to yourself. Go to the mirror and just be like, hey, you're not feeling too good right now. How do we fix this? What can I do to ensure that I don't feel this way when I leave this room? Okay, you know, have you done this? Have you done this? Pros and cons. Work it out with yourself. Talk it out. It's a very helpful thing for me. If that is something that maybe doesn't work for you, or maybe you're too in a quiet zone to be able to do that, the second thing that I do is take your mind away from the situation. If work is heated, if you're in a heated conversation, go on a 15-minute break. Take a walk. Let that person know, hey, I'm not in a great mental state right now to continue this conversation. Let me take 5 to 10 and I'll get back with you. There's nothing wrong with doing a quick reset. Sometimes when you're in a conversation, when you're in a moment, your mind is working a lot faster than your mouth. And if you're talking to someone, then your mind can be working while they're talking and you don't really have time to say anything. And if you start talking while they're talking, then you're both getting heated, and that can also end up in an unpleasant place. Taking yourself away from the situation allows you to get some air. It allows your mind to kind of unfold and be like, okay, well, this is what I was thinking about this, and this is what I was thinking about this is what I was thinking about this. Okay. Now, what were they saying, and now how can I react to that? What was I thinking that maybe wasn't the right thing? What was I thinking that might be the right thing? Allow yourself to ponder. Don't just unleash heat. And if you're in a conversation with someone, it'll help them too, because I'm sure they're feeling the same way. If it's a heated conversation, they might also want some time to get away. Do you feel heated in this moment? Just making sure. If you want to take a 5 to 10 minute break, you are more than welcome to. Not now, after the podcast. JK, get out of here, you rascal. Okay, I'll see you in a few. Now, if you're not in the moment, if you're in a zone where maybe your week just wasn't going as planned, or that frustration has been taking its toll on you, and maybe you were able to get out of it, maybe you were able to get away from the situation and come back, but maybe it's still festering in there a little bit as the days go by, and it's not leaving your mind. The next thing you can do, of course, is do things that you love to do. For me, video games, hobbies. I know some people do Legos. Work out. Get that steam out of you. A lot of times, frustration, anger, rage is heat. It's because you're hot. And the more you feel it, the hotter you get. And the more fiery you become. All those little cells in your body are moving at lightning quick speeds. And if everything's moving so quick, you're starting to sweat. And it's not a good situation. So do things that allow you to feel at ease, in your happy place. Again, get a workout in. Play some video games. Spend time with friends and family. Put yourself in a positive and loving situation. Watch a TV show, watch a movie, maybe have some phone time. Get into bed, get into a relaxing position and enjoy your phone for a few minutes, That allows you to reset, to kind of go into the Twitter sphere and Instagram, Snapchat, what do you call it? What does your mama use all that time? What is that app? TikTok, that's right, good job. Put your mind and your body in a positive space around you. Things that take you back to who you are, take you back to what you love to do, take you back to that childish moment in time where you were young and you got out of school at 3 and it was a Friday, so you had no homework, but you didn't have a car, you didn't have a phone, and you were just at home doing what you love to do, watching your favorite TV show, playing your favorite video game, having a nice dinner, mac and cheese and chicken nuggets. Classic times. Revert back to a simpler, happier time. Do things that you love to do. And now number 4 goes hand in hand with that. It's relax. Get comfortable. If you've been stressing yourself out, if you've been working overtime every single day for weeks, take a day off. Go on a vacation. Get away. Change your scenery. If you're in the same place all the time, it can get overwhelming. It can get boring. It can get repetitive. Change it up. Put your mind, body, and soul in a new mindset. Go to the beach. Go to the park. Walks with Scarlett are a game changer. I always take my lunches and I always go on walks. Whether I'm in the office or I'm working from home, I need to find a way to get outside. If it's raining, that's another thing. I might just power it through just to get the day done. But anything other than rain, Scarlett and I are outside. We're patrolling the streets, looking for squirrels and fun places to sniff and go pee. One of my favorite things to do, which I have no shame in, is taking baths, taking a hot shower. I love water. To me, if I could, I would just spend my whole day in water. You get yourself a hot bath going, well-scented bubbles in there, and you got everything foaming up, all hot. You pour yourself a nice 18-ounce glass of brewski, get your Nintendo Switch ready, get your phone ready, get some good tunes ready, get a speaker ready, and you just dedicate the next 30 to 45 just chilling in hot water, just allowing your body to just melt. Man, if you can't hear it in my voice, baths are lit. Showers are fuego. Hot water, man, I could chill in there forever. You can also take a nap. Put some PJs on, get in some comfortable clothes. No one likes wearing pants all the time. If you like wearing pants all the time, more power to you. I don't think a lot of people like wearing pants all the time. Put some PJs on, put some shorts on. Take off your pants. It's your house, your space, do what you want. Get into bed, get on your phone, relax. Put yourself in a very comfortable situation to just let your mind be at ease. And the last thing I wanted to go over is also working with what I've been saying the entire time is, of course, being present. Don't worry about tomorrow's problems. Don't get too far into your head. You start feeling that, start breathing. You start getting too much into your head, breathe and control your breathing, because then you're present. You're more in the moment because you're focusing on something, not just your mind. Touch your fingertips. Understand that you're here. You are not in your head. You are not in there. You are here, present, physically present. We are not just our minds. We are our bodies. We are our souls. And the main problem is sometimes we do forget that. We do forget that we're more than just a brain. So I do hope whoever's having a bad moment in time right now, understand that the classics are true. This too shall pass. Focus on the present, because the past is behind us. And the future hasn't happened yet. All we have is the moment that we have right here. Right, Scarlett? Scarlett gets it. With the last few minutes, I just wanted to express myself about not only is June mental health awareness month. It's also the month of, as of right now, probably my least favorite holiday, and that's Father's Day. And I guess I don't really hate the holiday Father's Day. I just hate that it's about fathers. Lol. Before I get into that, I do want to express my happiness and my appreciation for all of the padres out there. My family and my friends, the new dads, the dads who have been dads, the father figures out there, even the dog daddios like myself. I appreciate you guys. Love you guys. I appreciate you guys' presence in your children's lives, in your spouse's lives, in your family's lives, in your people's lives. And on top of that, you're not just present, you're working, you're doing extracurriculars. You're making sure that you're the best you that you can be. And I know that that's no easy task. So to all the fathers out there, please pat yourselves on the back. Enjoy your day because y'all deserve it, for sure. So now that I've been positive, Father's Day for now, honestly, is not a day I look forward to. It's right up there with my dad's birthday and the anniversary of his passing. And it might be worse than those two. And I say that because when it's his birthday, I'm celebrating him. And I can do that however I want to. The anniversary of his passing is tough. It's a really tough day. But I know that I'm going to take the day off and I'm going to try and make it in memory of him. I'm going to try and do things that connect me to him as much as possible on that day. Father's Day is hard because the days leading up to it and the day of it, I get emails about Father's Day. I see posts on Instagram about Father's Day. I see Father's Day everywhere in stores. You know, I see it on the streets with fathers and their children. I see it amongst my family with my Nino and, you know, my cousins as fathers and being fathers, and my friends being fathers, and I love them to death, of course, but I can't help but be a little jealous. A little not left out, but I'd like some of that enjoyment, you know? Last year, I don't think I did so well on Father's Day. I just had a negative tone and a negative feeling the entire day. And I know Jen could feel it. I know I might have put a little more on her than she deserved, just because I wasn't in the mood to do anything positive. I want to say that this is just how it is for now, because I feel like as time goes on, I'll feel better. It'll become more of a memory and it'll be less emotional. And I want to celebrate him on this day. But I think it's just too soon, and it's hard for me to celebrate him because I'm not thinking about what we had. I'm thinking about how I can't celebrate him now, and I can't say Happy Father's Day to him now. And I know that I can talk to him whenever I want, and I know that he's with me always, but it's not the same. There's no hugs, no pats on the backs. He can't give me that look when he raises his eyes and stares at me. I'm doing this podcast. I'm a big conversation guy. I can't hear his voice. And I think that it's just tough. And I know that there's people out there that are going through the same thing. And so to you guys, I just want to let you know that you're not alone. And there's a lot of people out there that probably feel this way about this holiday and about other holidays that have meaning to them, that they either keep to themselves or they just become a different person for 24 hours, and that's okay. It's okay to mourn. It's okay to hurt. It's okay to feel. And I know I feel negative right now, but I know that it's coming from a good place. It's not like I hate that I can't. I just wish we could again. And again, I think eventually I'll get to a spot where I don't feel as negative. I'm trying to work to that spot where I feel more positive than negative on Father's Day. I just need to accept how I feel and hope one day that those positive emotions will outweigh the negatives. I think it's gonna be better than last year. But I don't think it's gonna be that great. But I also know that wherever I'll be around people that love me and people that support me and people that are there for me, and I'll love them and support them and be there for them, and that's what I have to think about. On top of all of the good times that my father and I had throughout his time on planet Earth. And so on that note, take care of yourself. Find ways to express those negative emotions as well as you can. Don't let them fester. Don't become a volcano and erupt at random points in time. Talk them out. Get away. Take a break. Go outside. Find ways to put yourself in a positive space. Like right now, I'm feeling a little down, but there's nothing a little Scarlett can't do to fix. You are absolutely stunning, Scarlett. Never change. I think what also makes me feel better about Father's Day is the fact that I'm your father. Scarlett, I am your father. Believe it or not, Scarlett, that's actually an original. I didn't get that from anything specific, like a movie or anything about lightsabers and futuristic people. Yeah, maybe I will make a movie about it. Good idea, Scarlett. So with that said, I want everyone to RSVP, rate, subscribe, vote, follow. Every Friday, 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, we are dropping these bad boys to ya. So come get them. Thank you all very much for listening. And of course, we would like you all to have a great night, have some great drinks, have a great weekend, eat some good food, be around great people. Be the best you that you can be. Because not only does everyone around you deserve it, you deserve it too. And please continue to love the life you're living. Take care. You want to go for a walk? Okay, let's go.